Welcome back to the Puma Podcast. I'm Tory.
And I am Puma.
And on this podcast, we talk about Jesus, life, and everything in between. Guys, I wish you could see, not all the time, I wish you could see what I see when we podcast. Yes, Puma's a funny guy. But yeah, guys, hey, welcome back. We're going through our Living Wisely in a Foolish World. And man, it's like Christmas is right there. It's a few days away. Super exciting. And not that this is like a Christmas podcast, but it's just fun for me, I think, to be able to podcast and hopefully make your traveling or whatever you're doing this weekend a little more enjoyable, and maybe give you guys something of worth that might help you know God better and love people more. We have a lot of opinions on this podcast. We're going to share a few today. And actually, you want to talk about what we're going to talk about, Puma? Because it kind of... I'm just going to stop talking. I'll just...
No, you're going good. I wish you could see what I see out there. When we look through Proverbs, and as Tori and I have been going through Proverbs and how to live wisely in a foolish world, and our world isn't getting better, wiser. It seems to be getting more and more foolish week after week after week. And what is so great is that our God, who loves us so much, isn't content with us to stay as we are, but always wants us to grow and to mature. And he wants us to live wisely in a world that is increasingly foolish. And he's given us wisdom and counsel in this book of Proverbs. And so over the last, I don't know how many weeks, we've been looking at various Proverbs in the book of Proverbs, and really trying to discover how we can live wisely in this foolish world. And another one that has just been kind of on my heart this whole NFL season, honestly. The officiating in the NFL has just been horrible this year. As a Buffalo Bills fan, I have so many examples. Several weeks back in the Eagles game, it was absolutely horrible, the officiating. And what's funny is that the officials after the game, a week later, can say, yeah, we blew that call, we blew that call. But you know what? That doesn't change the outcome, of calls that cause the Bills to lose, or maybe cause your team to lose. You see, this idea that decisions are made in the moment without full disclosure, without full information, and then the consequences come later. And we live in a world that seems to be more and more increasingly okay with not knowing all the facts. People like to speak and then find out the truth later.
Yeah. We like to share our thoughts before we've done any research. And there are real consequences to that. The choices we make with any limited information we have, it affects not just us, but those around us. And like you talk about officials, the calls they made really do affect the game and potentially, the entire football team's career.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big deal.
And so, what we're going to talk about today is that we need to learn the truth and then speak, not speak and then later on learn the truth. The order definitely matters.
The order
definitely matters. And Proverbs speaks to this. So this is where we're going this morning. And we're glad that you joined us to come along for the ride as we get ready for Christmas.
All right, Puma, the order matters. Our thoughts and opinions aren't just, they are just our opinions and thoughts, but they have real consequences. Why is it in our culture, do you think, that we are so quick to speak? And it's not even speak like just our mere thoughts, but just speak whatever we believe to be true. We hold on to facts that aren't really facts. We say things, we hurt people because of some of these truths when they're not founded. Like, why is that just so prevalent? Is it just our culture? Is it just sin? Is it?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it is. As we've talked about Proverbs paints a picture that everybody is going in one of two directions. Your life is pointed toward foolishness and wickedness and frustration, all the different ways that the foolish path is described in Proverbs. The other direction is the path that is actually moving toward the heart of God. That's the path of wisdom and all of the different ways that Proverbs explains that. And so often we'll read in Proverbs, and you'll see in any proverb, it seems to have kind of like a couple different phrases in the same verse. It says like a positive and a negative, or it says, this and that, or contrast. You see this all the time, and so for instance, Proverbs 14:15 says, a simple man believes anything. Now, is that characteristic of our culture, you think?
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yes.
Right? I mean, where do we see that?
Oh, I have a sad story, confession session. I remember I was new to Instagram, and the whole like Instagram made me buy it kind of whatever a few years ago. And, I hate spending money on Q-tips. And there was this Instagram ad of, wow, you can buy these like lifetime Q-tips where it's like a plastic little like screw thing and you put it in
reusable Q-tips?
Yeah, really. It was like this plastic thing that you can like, you get all the earwax, and it's kind of gross, so I'm sorry. But yeah, you get all the stuff out of your ears and you just rinse it in water. You never have to buy Q-tips again. I'm like, oh, it's amazing. Didn't research it. I just bought them. It was the deal,
so
right?
Just in the moment, it's like, this has to be true.
Right. It was like this 15-minute deal, 50% off these like reusable Q-tips for the rest of your life. So I bought them, and they came. And they were so painful. It's like an actual plastic screw you kind of screw into your ear.
So they're like needles.
Yeah. So then after the fact, I looked up online. There's no way I'm doing this right. And like, I think it was like a 0.4 star. It was like not even half a star. People just ranted, this is a stupid product. Don't buy it.
Blah,
yeah.
blah, blah.
And I'm like, oh, I just bought 2 packs. I bought them for Christmas gifts. And so I think
so that's what that was.
Yeah, I think I still have anyway. But yeah, all that to say, the verse. That's me.
A simple man believes anything.
I was so sold.
Yeah.
In the moment.
Yeah. We have social media is just ripe with this.
Mm-hmm.
TikTok videos every day, a new trend or something comes on, and they come on, and people just pick it up right away and believe whatever idea they're selling.
Right.
And they just say, "Oh, this must be true."
Right. They believe it. They buy it. They invest in it. Right. They date it. I mean.
Right.
Yeah. We are so quick to not just believe, but to change our life, and do certain actions which have consequences.
Well, because we live based upon what we believe to be true. But when Proverbs 14:15 says, "A simple man believes anything," that's describing the path of foolishness.
Yeah.
The second part says, "But a prudent man, or a man who knows how to make good decisions, gives thought to his steps." See, the path of righteousness, the path of wisdom, is giving thought to the things that you hear. The path of foolishness is believing anything, or the first thing that you hear. So here's another proverb. Proverbs 15:28 says, "The heart of the righteous weighs its answers, but the mouth of the wicked gushes folly." Do you see a lot of folly, just stupid things being gushed in our world?
Yeah.
In headlines, in conversations, all over the place.
Yeah, you say headlines. I mean, just like the media, the news.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, sensationalism sells, right?
It does.
Here's a story. A man's been married to his wife for 38 years. He's been super faithful. Right?
Right. Is that nobody cares?
No.
Right.
No.
Sadly.
Right. But you have, a man who committed this sin and this crime and blah, 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 blah. And
right. Yeah. You this person in England married to 3 brooms and a dresser. Like, oh yeah, that sells. I mean,
right. Yeah. A woman marries herself and then doesn't like herself and divorces, and she's having, right. I mean, all kinds of weird. Right. I mean, those are the kind of things, right? But just gushes evil. But it says that the heart of the righteous, or the path of wisdom, weighs its answers. Again, giving thought to the things that you think. So those are the positives. I give thought to my steps, or I weigh my answers. There's a couple other proverbs. Proverbs 18:13 says, "He who answers before listening, that is to his folly and shame."
Wow.
I mean, how often do we answer before we understand the question?
Oh man, every youth group. I'm in the middle of a question and hands go up. I haven't finished the question, but they're ready to answer.
Yeah. Yeah. Why is that? Why do people want to give answers before listening? Or how about this? You just see a headline and everybody wants to share their opinion about it, right?
Yeah.
They want to share they want to pontificate on their wisdom, and they want to share, even though they might not even know the full story.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the whole phrase, "Don't read the comments." You'll see an article posted. People haven't read it, but there's all the comments about it from just the headline.
Right. Yeah. I even know what subject this is talking about,
but
I got an opinion. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. "He who answers before listening, that is to his folly and shame." Here's another one, Proverbs 19:2. This one is so great. "It is not good to have zeal without knowledge, nor to be hasty and miss the way."
It is not good.
It is not good to have zeal. Now, he's not saying that zeal, being zealous, having passion is bad. But he's saying having passion without knowledge. I mean, how many protests have we seen over the last 4 or 5 years where you get crowds and crowds of people that are super, super passionate,
Right.
and they have no idea what they're passionate about.
They don't know why they're there. Why are you flipping this car?
They don't know why they're there. I mean, you have all the with the stuff going on in Israel, for instance, and the slogan from the river to the sea. If you ask people, what river are you talking about and what sea are you talking about? I don't know if people would even know what river or sea they're talking about.
Yeah. Right.
So it's this idea of having passion is good, but passion without knowledge. And in Proverbs, knowledge often starts with the knowledge of God and works its way down to other things.
Right.
So the idea here, it's not good to have zeal without the knowledge of God.
Well, yeah, the phrase "follow your heart." Yeah, you love to go for it.
Right.
There's no knowledge, no wisdom involved, but it's passionate, and it has emotion and feeling, and there's a vibrance to it, and there's a lot of destruction.
There is, yeah. The idea that when I have passion without knowledge, I do something in haste and miss the way. In other words, I miss out on opportunities. I do things that actually cause damage instead of being helpful.
Yeah.
There's the old American proverb as a kid, haste makes waste. And some of you might have heard that, to be hasty and you end up wasting. Because you have, trying to get things done quickly or, with passion, but you don't have all the information you need or whatever. Yeah. So this idea that, we speak first and then later on we find out the truth, but then it's too late, right?
Right. Yeah.
Because I've already made my decision. The consequences have already kind of started to trickle in.
Yeah.
And so, so this idea, living wisely in a foolish world, part of one of the pictures that Proverbs paints, and which is really practical and relevant for us today, is that we need to think before we speak. We need to understand the truth before we pronounce our opinions. The order matters.
It does.
Because we speak today, and then we find out what's true. We make decisions, and then we go find out the facts.
Yeah, you brought up a good point to understanding. You mentioned in a previous podcast about the difference between understanding, how that's the glue between knowledge and wisdom. And yeah, we don't like understanding. People in general would much rather feel and vent than take time to understand and learn. And understanding, a fool takes no delight in understanding, but delights in airing his own opinions, right? We read that in Proverbs.
Right, Proverbs 18:2. Yeah.
Yeah, we're so... Understanding is hard, and inventing is easy. And people like drama, right? Drama sells. If you can advertise it, put emotion behind it, people will buy into it. People will invest in it. People will marry it. And, so there's a lot of groundwork that wisdom takes. I like how you have the two paths, right? The paths of the fool, the path of the righteous. And the path of the righteous takes time, and it's narrower, and it's harder. Right? I mean, you can have an opinion.
It takes discipline. And we talked about that in a previous podcast. Yeah.
Right.
You need to slow down, maybe not give in to your feelings right away. And sometimes it's costly. It takes time, right? It takes time. Another proverb that is relevant to this is Proverbs 18:17 says, the first to present his case seems right, till another comes forward and questions him. And this happens all the time. In other words, when Proverbs 14:15 says a simple man believes anything, often what they believe is the first thing that they hear. And isn't this true that we hear something, someone comes and tells us something, oh yeah, something about a friend, they said this or they did that, and we're like, oh, I can't believe that they said that, until you go talk to that friend, it's like, no, that's not how it happened. Yeah. You see, when you get the other side, or you get, more of the full picture, or get more of the facts, it really changes what reality looks like. It really changes my feelings and thoughts, and it kind of tethers them closer to reality, to the truth. Right. But, the first person to present his case always seems right, right? The first thing you hear always seems right, but a wise person, someone that's walking wisely, is going to recognize that there is always a second side,
Right.
or there's something else, and it's foolish to not give thought to my ways and to believe the first thing that I hear.
And we've all experienced this. I mean, we've all have relationships where we heard something and there was some gossip. We confronted them like, well, I never said that. Like, well, I heard from so-and-so that you like, well, no, like, and I think this is not only applicable, but it brings up actual memories. And we've all bought something we didn't mean to buy. We've all maybe listened or trusted the wrong person, didn't investigate, or vice versa. Somebody said something about you and someone else got the wrong idea of you because they didn't investigate. They accused you of something and they just hadn't taken time, to really ask you, the person they were upset with or whatever. And it's interesting how Proverbs speaks to every situation. There's wisdom that transcends thousands of years that we can all relate to. Because you're right, the first thing you hear at first, yeah, it sounds right, but wisdom, I don't want to say is skeptical, but is cautious. A wise person is cautious in friendship. We know that. There's real wisdom to investigating, which takes patience. Because it's easier to believe whatever you want to believe, but if you don't take time to actually investigate, you don't take the discipline, the self-control to not give into the emotion you hear. That takes maturity.
It does. And then it begs the question: so who should I believe? What should I believe?
Are all conspiracy theorists, the wisest people in the world?
Right. I mean, who should I believe? So should we believe everything the government tells us just because they're the government, for instance? Should I believe everything that the medical community tells us because they're the medical community, or the CDC, or a particular news outlet? Should I believe everything that they say because they're the news outlet?
Right. Or even spiritually. Should I believe every author I read, every pastor, every sermon, Yeah.
Right. I mean, so how do we know? We tend to believe things that we hear from total strangers, but we tend to question those that we hear from people that we trust. Isn't that amazing?
That's interesting.
I'll listen to someone online that I've never met, and their video pops up in my feed, and I listen to them. Wow, they are just so smart, even though it says the exact opposite of, say, maybe what my parent told me, who knows me and loves me and knows the situation. You see, the part of the sinful heart tends to always question those that love us the most and have our interest in mind, and we tend to believe strangers and things that we hear the first time. And this is what these verses are talking about. When a simple man believes anything, but a prudent man gives thought to his steps, the prudent man is going to recognize the source from which the information is coming and give thought to it. Is this source a trustworthy source?
Right.
Is this person or this, video or this agency, whatever, do they have a track record of being honest, for instance? Or have they chronically lied to me? The heart of the righteous weighs its answers, but the mouth of the wicked gushes folly, right? Do I recognize wisdom in those that are speaking? Are they weighing the things that they're saying? And they presenting, a full-rounded case or a truthful case? Or are they withholding, hiding from me? Are they gushing evil? What God says is evil? Then maybe I shouldn't trust what they say.
Right. Well, that takes a heart of humility to even take correction, to even be a learner. You have to be a humble person, willing to sit under and learn from others, even if it goes against what you might originally believe. And there is a sense that familiarity does breed contempt to a degree, right? I know people, I've known for a long time, but that flashy, new, energetic stranger has this brand new thought I never thought about, and there's something alluring and attractive.
There is.
To new.
We want that which is shiny and spectacular, and that's sort of the thing. What's the new shiny object my heart can chase after today? That the simple heart longs for that which we think we can't have, or which is kind of eluding us, or the mysterious.
Yeah, we're missing out. There's something better.
That we're missing out.
That's not my.
Yeah, our world does not celebrate faithfulness, loyalty, humility, these kind of character traits that really are the foundation for relationships.
Yeah.
And when the world doesn't, this gets back to when the world doesn't value these things, they really don't value the heart of God. Because God isn't out there trying to be this new shiny thing. He is a faithful, loyal, trustworthy, patient, for us, working even when we're not aware of it for on our behalf.
Yeah.
And yet so often people reject God for the new shiny object that just came on the scene, that has no track record, that and this is how we operate, you know. And so, Proverbs, God wants us to understand, here's how to live wisely in a foolish world. Shiny objects are going to come around. Don't believe the first thing that you hear.
Right.
Don't give your heart to that. Think about it. Don't have passion without getting the full knowledge. Remember, there's always two sides.
Yeah. Every story.
To the story. Just because something sounds like it's true, a Q-tip that never ends.
Yeah. What a concept.
Just do a little bit of investigating.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean we got to go crazy and never make a decision because we never feel like we can get enough information. Because at some point you got to make. But when it comes to just relationships with people, relationships with the news media, relationships, even with pastors and teachers, there's an amount of trust and truthfulness that needs to be there, and we need to think about it.
Yeah. Well, it's not just be cautious for cautious sake. It really is be cautious for the truth's sake.
Right.
Because you can be a conspiracy theorist and believe that birds aren't real and they're spies. And okay, you can believe that if you want to, right? But I think truth and reality would say something different. And it's not that we're, worshiping just being, cautious people. If you're cautious, you're holy. It's being cautious because the truth is worth it. Jesus is worth it. The heart of God is worth it. And you're right. It affects real relationships. I mean, probably a lot of you saw family for Christmas or going to see family for Christmas. And sometimes there are some strained relationships. There are friendships that are hard. There's a lot of drama, a lot of gossip that happens sometimes over the holidays. And to be thoughtful and like, okay, well, you can hear something about your cousin that is irritating, but maybe be cautious because you don't know the truth yet. And that does take wisdom. And so I guess, Puma, as we transition to close here, what's a good application question? We know it's important to, a wise man is cautious in friendship. A wise man, right, doesn't believe the first thing that they hear. A wise man doesn't blurt out their opinions just because. What's a good AQ?
Well, a good application question comes right out of some of these verses. Do you believe things that you hear when you hear them? Or do you give thought to your ways? Do you give thought to the things that you hear? So we need to be thinking people, not feeling people. Even though we feel, we need to think first, not feel first.
Yes, our thoughts should dictate our emotions, not our emotions dictate our thoughts.
Right. We need to learn and then speak, or understand and then post, not the other way around. Because the order matters.
Yeah.
If I post and then I understand, if I speak and then seek out the truth, what we get is our world today.
Yeah. Well, and there's so much hurt. I used to think, okay, if I speak before I think, that that affects me. No, it affects everyone around me.
Right.
There's real collateral. Yes, it's one thing. It's not good for Tory if it happens. But you know what? It hurts people, and guess what? It hurts God. And maybe we'll get to this in a future podcast. But lies, it affects everyone in your circle. And to believe falsehood, to not be diligent, to not be prudent. I think it's a great word we brought up earlier. To be prudent, to really give thought to our ways, is God honoring. It's not just a simple, it's a Tory issue. It's a relational issue with people around me and with my own God.
Yeah.
So let's be wise. It's a great application question. Do I give thought to my ways? Am I wise in the information I take as truth?
Do I have passion without knowledge? Keep the passion, just get the knowledge before you express that passion. Yeah.
No, that's good. Yeah, I'll have to, this holiday season, give that some thought too as I'm traveling. But thank you, Puma. I appreciate you. I appreciate just scripture. I'm so glad God gave us a book that is just so loaded and so rich in wisdom for those who want to hear, right? I mean, are we cautious to listen to truth?
Right. Well, he gave this to us because he loves us so much and wants us to grow toward him. So, So this Christmas weekend, think and speak and follow Jesus.
Yeah. Think, speak, follow Jesus. That's good. Order matters.
Order matters.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Well, guys, thank you for joining us this podcast. If you have any questions, please, as always, feel free to reach out to us at thepumapodcast@gmail.com. I love the emails I get. You guys are gracious and great thoughts too. You guys really do. It's cool to have active listeners, and just really appreciate you guys. And have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you guys.
Merry Christmas.
Love Jesus' birthday, even though it was probably in April. We're going to celebrate it with passion and knowledge.
and knowledge. But just enjoy Jesus.
Yeah.
This week. God who has chosen in His wisdom to come to us. It's amazing. God with us.
Yeah, Emmanuel. That's amazing. Well, guys, we love you. We love our Savior. Let's celebrate Him well this weekend. And we'll see you next week, Fridays at 10:10. Bye.
Bye-bye.